We often treat our own health too lightly, we only remember it when the body is already loudly screaming about problems. Many serious illnesses creep up unnoticed, disguising themselves as mild discomfort or not showing up at all in the early stages. As a result, a person learns about the illness either by accident, during a routine checkup, or only when time has been lost and fighting it is much more difficult. But nature has provided us with a kind of alarm system. One of these indicators is the skin, the largest organ of the human body. It not only protects us from the external environment, but also reflects the processes taking place inside the body. Changes in its color, texture, or even excessive sweating can indicate that somewhere deep inside, a serious problem is brewing. That's why it's important to pay close attention to any unusual manifestations, rash, sudden dryness, change in tone, itching, or excessive sweating. All of these may not just be cosmetic defects, but early signs of hidden diseases. In this video, we've gathered 8 of the most common signals that the skin gives us when the body is working at its limit. Did you know that excessive sweating is sometimes connected not only to heat or stress, but also to serious health disorders? And this is only one of the alarming symptoms that deserves attention. Watch until the end, and you'll find out which other skin changes doctors consider the first warning bells, and why ignoring them can be dangerous. 8. Dark and white spots on the skin. If dark spots suddenly appeared on your skin, you must not treat this lightly. Sometimes such changes are not cosmetic defects at all, but a signal of serious disorders in the body. One possible diagnosis is adrenal insufficiency, better known as Addison's disease. With this illness, the adrenal glands produce too little steroid hormones, which are vital for the normal functioning of the body. The causes of the disease can be different, from severe stress to autoimmune processes. The danger is that the symptoms develop gradually and do not always raise concern right away. Among the characteristic signs are muscle weakness, joint pain, loss of appetite, low blood sugar, and low blood pressure. All this can pose a serious threat to health, which is why at the first suspicious symptoms it's important to see a doctor as soon as possible and undergo an examination. No less alarming is the appearance of white spots on the skin. This phenomenon may indicate vitiligo, a disease in which the immune system mistakenly attacks melanocytes, the cells responsible for producing the pigment melanin. As a result, the skin in certain areas completely loses its color. Vitiligo can appear at any age and on any parts of the body, from the face and hands to the scalp and even the mucous membranes, for example in the mouth. Sometimes the disease manifests not only with spots, but also with whitening of the eyelashes or eyebrows. Scientists have established that vitiligo is often linked to endocrine system disorders and, in some cases, goes hand in hand with adrenal insufficiency. In addition, vitiligo increases the risk of developing skin cancer, since areas without melanin lack natural protection from ultraviolet radiation. That's why it is so important not to postpone a visit to a dermatologist or endocrinologist. Early diagnosis helps identify the causes and take timely measures. 6. Rash and skin breakouts. Any sudden skin breakouts are an alarming sign that should by no means be ignored. Of course, sometimes a rash may just be a reaction to new foods, household chemicals, or even cosmetics. But often it points to much more serious health problems, including infectious diseases and severe allergic reactions. The most obvious cause is allergy. It can manifest in different ways, from mild itching and redness to widespread breakouts and swelling. The danger lies in the fact that allergic reactions can progress rapidly. In severe cases, Stevens-Johnson syndrome develops, a rare but extremely dangerous illness in which not only the skin but also the mucous membranes are affected. The first signs often resemble ordinary flu, weakness, fever, body aches. However, later on, painful blisters and erosions appear on the skin. Full recovery of the body after such a condition can take several months. Another possible complication is Lyell's syndrome, toxic epidermal necrolysis. This is an even rarer but dangerous reaction, when the skin starts peeling off in large areas, as if after a severe burn. This condition requires immediate hospitalization and medical attention. We must not forget about infectious diseases either. For example, chickenpox, familiar to many from childhood, is also accompanied by characteristic rashes. In children the disease usually runs relatively easily, but in adults chickenpox can cause serious complications and knock them out of their normal rhythm of life for a long time. Therefore, the rule is simple: any unexplained rash is a reason to be alert. If you notice rashes on your skin accompanied by fever, itching, or a general worsening of well-being, do not postpone a visit to the doctor. The earlier the diagnosis is made, the higher the chances of avoiding serious consequences. 5. Constant swelling. If you notice that your face, hands, or legs swell every day without any obvious reason, this is a serious signal from the body that something is wrong. One possible cause may be hypothyroidism, a condition in which the thyroid gland produces an insufficient amount of hormones. These hormones regulate metabolism, and their deficiency affects practically all systems of the body. The main signs of hypothyroidism include dry skin, swelling of the face and extremities, brittle nails, hair loss, and gradual weight gain. Often these symptoms are accompanied by constant fatigue, apathy, and even depression, which makes everyday life significantly more difficult. It is especially important to pay attention to these signs in pregnant women. Untreated hypothyroidism in a future mother can negatively affect the development of the child, causing delays in physical and mental growth. Therefore, timely diagnosis and treatment are not just useful measures, but vital necessities. It should be remembered that hypothyroidism is not only a human problem. Dogs, cats, and even horses can suffer from a lack of thyroid hormones, so attentive pet owners should be alert to any changes in their behavior or appearance. If you notice the listed symptoms in yourself or your loved ones, do not postpone a visit to an endocrinologist. Early diagnosis and correction of hormone levels help restore well-being, improve appearance, and prevent serious complications. 4. Sharp increase in the number of moles and warts. The appearance of new moles and warts on the skin is quite a common phenomenon, but a sharp increase in their number can be a signal of health problems. Moles can arise for different reasons. The most common is heredity. If your parents have large or numerous birthmarks, there is a high probability that you will develop them too. Other factors include increased exposure to ultraviolet rays, hormonal changes, stress, and even some chronic diseases. In most cases moles are harmless, but there are alarming signs worth paying attention to: rapid change in number, change in shape or color, itching, pain, or bleeding. These symptoms may indicate the risk of developing skin diseases, including skin cancer. Usually the formation of moles is more active before the age of 25. But the appearance of new formations after this age or changes in already existing moles require mandatory consultation with a dermatologist. Early referral to a specialist makes it possible to detect potentially dangerous changes at the earliest stage and prevent serious complications. Remember, your skin is the mirror of the body's condition, and careful attention to it helps preserve health and beauty for many years. 3. Pimples, acne, and clogged pores. Many people encounter the problem of pimples and acne during adolescence, but sometimes skin troubles do not go away even in adulthood. Modern cosmetic brands promise instant elimination of acne, advertising miracle creams and remedies. We buy them hoping for a quick result, forgetting at the same time that pimples are only a symptom, not the actual cause of the problem. Clogged pores, inflammation, and breakouts most often signal internal changes in the body: hormonal fluctuations, disturbances in the digestive system, stress, or excessive secretion of skin oil. Simple skin care and washing help only temporarily, but do not solve the underlying cause. To really cleanse the skin and restore its healthy appearance, it is important to consult a dermatologist. The specialist will help identify the root cause of the breakouts and, if necessary, prescribe treatment. Sometimes this may include dietary correction, lifestyle changes, skin care, and, in some cases, medical treatment. The main thing to remember is this: pimples are not just a cosmetic problem, they are a signal from the body that something is wrong. Proper diagnosis and a comprehensive approach will help the skin become healthy, and you, confident in yourself. 2. Skin peeling. Most often, skin peeling is a temporary and harmless phenomenon that is easily eliminated with the help of moisturizers or proper care. But sometimes this symptom can hide more serious problems. If the peeling becomes pronounced, accompanied by itching, redness, or other changes, this may signal a lack of vitamins, hormonal disorders, or an allergic reaction. Sometimes peeling is a sign of seborrheic dermatitis. It may appear in cold weather, under severe stress, or be inherited. Externally, the symptoms resemble a common allergic reaction: redness, peeling, skin irritation. Another possible cause is psoriasis, a chronic disease in which white or red spots appear on the skin, accompanied by peeling. Although peeling itself rarely poses a danger, it is important not to ignore it, especially if it is accompanied by other symptoms. In such cases, a visit to a dermatologist will help identify the real cause and choose effective treatment. Remember, careful attention to the signals of your body is the first step to maintaining the health of your skin. 1. Excessive sweating. Under normal conditions, being in a calm state in a cool and ventilated room, you should not sweat profusely. But if sweating occurs without obvious reasons and repeats regularly, this is a reason to pay attention to your health. One possible cause is diffuse toxic goiter, also known as Graves' disease or Bastow's disease, an autoimmune disorder in which the thyroid gland begins to work too actively. The symptoms of this condition can be diverse: sleep problems, rapid fatigue, muscle weakness, heat intolerance, and the skin becomes thin and constantly itchy. The causes of the disease may not only be genetic predisposition, but also stress, infections, or malfunctions of the immune system. It is very important not to ignore such signals from the body. Often we hope that the symptoms will go away on their own, but in most cases the disease quietly progresses, and the earlier you see a doctor, the easier the treatment will be and the lower the risk of complications. Even if the diagnosis turns out to be false, it will once again assure you that your health is under control. And did you know about such a manifestation of thyroid diseases? Have you encountered this yourself? Share your experience in the comments. And if you are interested in learning more about health and unusual symptoms, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new videos.